Okay, Kowalski, your turn to pick up the slack.
Oh, why don't we catch that plane?
What a movie this is. Penguins of Madagascar is nothing but a confident, beautifully written story, and one of my favorite movies from the studio. It has such a comedic but menacing villain, as well as thrilling action sequences. So let's talk about the good, the great, and of course, the mediocre. So without further ado, let's get into this modern masterpiece. The main visual appeal of this movie and the major enjoyment factor is the action. The action in this movie is only second to Spider-Man and makes Marvel look like the absolute garbo it is. Penguins of Madagascar has such a unique action style, implementing comedy in each scene, and whenever Skipper just yells out a random sequence,
Initiate self-destruct sequence.
just what surprisingly happened was comedy gold. And that airplane scene we saw at the beginning is just a work of art. The fact that all happens in one continuous shot is just beautiful. And the soundtrack, oh my lord, my guy Lorne Balfe was cooking for this one. Like bro, it's the
Los pingüinos me la van a mascar.
it ain't that deep. The music has such a sci-fi but goofy feel to it, perfectly complementing the theme of the story. And Dave, he probably has one of the best top 10 villain entry scenes. Let's be honest right now. Love how throughout the movie there is zero hang time. Each scene is either comedic, some crazy random gags, or hilarious action sequences. The movie never lets the audience in boredom while it keeps on giving. The fact that the movie, through the use of music and action sequences, is able to portray a goofy theme throughout is what I like about the movie together. Because the truth is, movies don't need to be some emotional turmoil or some amazing artistic masterpieces. They just need to be memorable, enjoyable, and really just a good time. And Penguins of Madagascar delivers that on each front. Let's talk about Dave, or Dr. Octavius Bryan. He's such an interesting villain. The way he's animated is actually frightening, and good character design in general. He also has a big forehead. This guy is just a menacing threat throughout the story. He ain't some wolf from another DreamWorks spinoff. God, DreamWorks might be cracked with spin-off movies. But still, Dave stays as a menace, able to hold a good fight, just kidnapping some penguins and causing mass destruction wherever he goes. Even though Dave himself is hilarious and intended as comedy, I love how the movie builds him as a threat, as he constantly puts the penguins in problems and wins every encounter they have. Even though Dave's a joke, he still manages to seamlessly become a genuine villainous threat the heroes are struggling to overcome. Dave's story is tragic. On the surface, he may seem jealous that some other animals are taking the spotlight from him, but it's beyond that. Dave represents someone who's being looked over, someone who is being disregarded as useless. He was overlooked by all the people around him, not seen as anything special. The penguins don't even remember him.
Dave!
Kowalski?
Sorry, sir, no clue.
The movie puts emphasis on the seamlessly useless fact, but deep inside it hurts. The fact that he's not appreciated or remembered. And even though Dave ends up getting the recognition he deserves by becoming a well-known scientist, that isn't enough. He still wants to ruin the lives of the penguin that ruined his life in the past. Even when he has that, he still wants to ruin the lives of other animal species. At the end, it isn't that Dave wanted to be recognized. He wanted to be the only one recognized. Dave is not the only one seeking recognition in the story. There's someone else who is very similar and goes through the same character motivations. That penguin being my boy Private. This guy is treated like a baby throughout the movie. He's seen as useless by his gang, being protected by Skipper and the other penguins. Private gets sort of overlooked by his family. They still see him as a child he was, and have not yet looked past that. Private is essentially the underdog. He isn't seen as a threat, but he ends up being the deciding factor in that climax fight. Even Private represent the same motive, two people who are getting overlooked and are yearning to prove themselves. One wanted to do this to the world using his own twisted desires, and one wanted to prove himself to his family. While Dave was fighting for his own selfish reasons, Private wanted to be a crucial opponent of his gang. They both are the same people, fighting for the same motive. One chose the dark way of greed and attention, while the other chose acceptance and family. That idea of family is presented in the first few minutes of the movie.
You've got us. We've got each other. If that ain't a family, I don't know what is.
And that's Penguins of Madagascar, just a found family of penguins defying everyone in front of them as they get into random hijinks and adventures. In the same way the movie began, it ended, with the penguins looking forward to their next adventure as a family. That's why it's great. There isn't really anything that's upright and mid about the movie. The only thing I can think about is the North Wind. I feel like they just serve very minimal purpose and were not really entertaining. Whenever they showed up, it was kind of annoying. However, they do serve important character development as it shows how Skipper must understand that maybe he isn't the greatest. However, even then, the North Wind just support that fact because they lost miserably to a group of infant octopus. Another critique may be that whenever the movie tries to be emotional, it falls flat. This is because of the overall goofy tone that was set from the movie. And for some parts, they are unfortunately true. It's really hard to add emotion to a movie that is meant to be taken as a joke. However, Penguins of Madagascar just tries its hardest. But if you're able to look past that, then there's nothing mid about this movie. Now that everything has been said and done, this movie is just peak cinema. It's funny, thrilling, and enjoyable. Every single second of this movie was worth the time, and that's what matters. Yes, the emotional moments may fall flat because of the tone, but still, this movie is just everything one needs in a movie. This is the greatest DreamWorks movie ever. Kill me, I don't care. My opinion stands the highest on this channel.